Hey, friends! Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast with your host, Nicole
and Hannah. Come join us for some hopeful conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing.
Hey, Postables and Hallmarkies. We are back for another episode, and today I'm chatting about the Hallmark Channel original movie, Welcome to Christmas, with my friend Penny. Welcome back to the podcast, Penny.
Oh, thank you so much for having me tonight, Nicole. I always love being a guest on your podcast.
Of course, this is always a lot of fun. And I'm glad that we finally got to meet in person at Rama Drama.
I know the anticipation was just too much. And then once we met, it was, oh my gosh, my cup runneth over.
Oh, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was.
Best weekend ever. Or one of the best weekends ever.
I think so.
Yeah. What was your favorite part about the weekend?
I would have to say my favorite part was finally having it come to fruition that I could meet the cast of Signed, Sealed, Delivered. I always felt that they were amazing people as well as multi-talented actors. And it was so wonderful to realize that that was the truth. And then the other bit of icing on the cake was meeting all of the Postables that I have been tweeting with and getting to know a bit more about over the last several years. And it was just wonderful to meet everyone in person.
Yeah, I feel the same way. That's one of my favorite parts of the weekend too. And then, of course, meeting all the other actors as well. And
I enjoyed them, but Signed, Sealed, Delivered there's just nothing like it. So that's my focus.
Yes, that was my focus as well, especially since I had a Postables ticket. So, but I would be remiss if I did not say my absolute favorite part was singing with Kristen.
Oh, that had to be. That was an opportunity of a lifetime. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you ladies did a fantastic job.
Thank you. I was very nervous.
You didn't show it on stage though. You went up there like the consummate professional and knocked it out of the park.
I tried, but thank you.
Then you had fun. That's the main thing.
Yes, it was very sweet of her to do that.
Yeah, she's a good person.
Yes. I remember before I went on to sing with Kristen, I was standing off stage and I think you saw me and you walked up to me and you were giving me a pep talk.
I know. I went up and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I felt like it was one of my daughters up there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was looking around. I didn't see your dad. And I was like, I just want to give her like a little pep talk of encouragement and shake off the jitters because she's going to do amazing. Mm-hmm. And you did. You just, as soon as they called you on stage, it was like, you were meant to be there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thinking in my head, is this actually happening? And am I on stage in front of 400 to 500 people singing?
Not only that, but half of them were actors out in the audience too. So you probably had all that going on as well. But you did super. I could not do that. I actually prefer to be the wallpaper. I prefer to not be on stage, but you did fab.
Thank you. I know I've said that multiple times, but I really appreciate it.
Well, it was you just did a really good job.
Thank you. I also remember thinking, you don't get an opportunity like this every day, so I'm gonna take it.
You know what? And that's what we have to do. And I think that the only regrets are the opportunities that we don't take. So I say good for you. It's a memory that'll be in your heart forever, indelible.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the wedding dress giveaway. That was
actually, that kind of took my breath away. I was crying like a baby when that happened. I kind of knew something was going down, but I wasn't quite sure what was happening. And then once it came out, and it rendered me absolutely speechless.
Yeah.
It's a pretty amazing moment.
Yeah. One of my other favorite parts was probably on Saturday, the luncheon. And Zach and Eric and Gregory bantering back and forth.
Oh my God. They actually, to tell you the truth, I think we lose sight sometimes that they are not father and son. They literally they have the chemistry on and off screen that they could be dad and son. It's crazy. Yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of that.
Yeah.
And that was another moment that I did kind of have. I had Gregory, I was seeing him to get him to sign, to autograph his photo. I happened to see the one of he and Eric together. And he said, well, Eric didn't have any of those at his table when you were there. Like he was just checking it out. I said, no, actually he didn't. And he said, well, I gave him 50 of them. And so I said, well, you're his dad. You're going to have to get on to him then. So it's just kind of funny. It was a moment.
Yeah, that's a good picture.
It was a very good picture. Yeah, I like the two of them together because I think I'm going to always, no matter what roles they've played separately, I just feel like that was the best father-son pairing, chemistry-wise, everything. They were perfectly matched. And it will, they'll always be my fave.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what Zach said, but he was reading the cube, that one of the
the little treasure box thing.
Yeah. And I think he said something along the lines of, I'm going to open a hair salon in Milwaukee and you're going to come with me.
He's so crazy. Zach of all trades is, and he's such a beautiful person. He's getting to speak with him was a highlight as well, because it's just a down-to-earth conversation. And it's like talking to someone that you've known for a very long time. And I think that's a rare experience to encounter anyone that puts you at ease like that. And Zach has that capability to do that. He's very genuine.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
I also love when he said, and your father would be very proud. And then Gregory, is over there. He's like, indeed I would.
Indeed I was.
Or indeed I am, I think is what he said.
Or something like that. It was really cute though. It was just great. Yeah, it was really sweet.
And then on Sunday, the skit and the costume contest was fun.
It was very fun. I didn't have really any preconceived ideas of how that was going to roll when I heard about it. And I was just really grateful to be able to watch it, to take the time to do that, because it just went over really well.
Yeah. I remember them calling my name on Friday during the panel. I was like, is this actually happening?
I know, I couldn't believe that. I know. I was like, okay, there goes Nicole.
It's like, what?
You did a great job though. I'm telling you, Mary Beth too. Mary Beth, man, she was rocking it. She acted like she had done that many times before.
Yeah, she nailed the poses from Norman.
I know. I was like, she's perfect.
All of those skits, everyone did a fabulous job. And Ramona.
Oh, Ramona. She was so funny. She was so funny. I really like Ramona. Ramona she rocked it. She was good.
I mean, if you go back and watch the Instagram live, you were standing next to me. I could not hold in my laughter.
No, it was so funny. And it was like when you had given me the video to your phone to keep videoing the whole thing. I was sitting there and I was like, I'm laughing so hard. I hope I'm not messing this video up.
No, you did a great job.
Thank you. I was like, okay, she's entrusted the wrong person with this camera.
I was worried I was gonna drop the phone or something because
I know you were laughing so hard. I was like, oh my gosh, this is truly it was a hit. It was totally a hit.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so special too when the cast got up, and especially the words that Gregory said. He definitely nailed it, and it was so heartfelt, and he spoke for all of them in a way, and I just felt like it was there was such leadership in the quality of the words and the way that he addressed all of us. It was wonderful. Yeah,
I agree. Best weekend ever. We need another Roma drama.
There you go. I don't know that I will attend another one. I might leave that to the youth. I might just live vicariously that time through y'all.
That's totally understandable, but we would love if you could come to
You
another one.
never know. I never say never.
Never say never.
Never say never.
Well, I guess we should get into the movie.
Let's
And
get
why
into
we're
the
here.
movie because we all know that I'm here today because it is my all-time fan favorite Christmas movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome to Christmas. It premiered on December 9th, 2018. It stars Eric Mavius as Gage, Jennifer Finnegan as Madison, Susan Hogan as Nell, Lauren McNamara as Annie, Peyton Lipinski as Lily, Daniel Bacon as Ethan, Sarah Edmondson as Rachel, Taylor Hastings as Chelsea, Lauren Cardinal as Tom, and Michael Copsa as Joe. It was directed by Gary Harvey, written by Rick Garman and Debbie Mason, and executive produced by Eric Mabius, Joel S. Rice, Jim Head, Michael Prupus, and Sean Williamson. And if I'm correct, shout out to the Postables, I believe Joel has executive produced a lot of the Signed, Sealed, Delivered movies.
Yes.
Resort developer Madison Lane is tasked with finding a location for a new ski resort. While she's prepared to recommend the resort be placed in Mountain Park, her boss tells her to take a trip to Christmas, Colorado to consider the location and the incentive package they're offering. On her way into town to meet with the mayor, Madison has a minor fender bender with the town's welcome sign. Town Sheriff Gage McBride gives Madison a ride into town so she can attend the meeting while the car is towed and repaired. Little does Madison know that the town is on a mission to convince Madison that Christmas is the best place for the new ski resort. While stranded, Madison grows to love the community and the spirit of Christmas that runs throughout. Is the resort really the right move for Christmas, or would the town be better off keeping its charm and traditions intact? What did you love most about this movie?
I loved most about this movie that it was, aside from a Signed, Sealed, Delivered, where we can always count on it not being cookie cutter. There are so many Christmas movies out there that are so repetitious, and you could close your eyes and take a nap and wake up and you would not have missed anything. And I felt that I loved this because it was about family, it was about loss, it was about healing a person that was inserted into this family's life that actually awakened them again to happiness. And there was just so many teaching moments and lovely moments in the movie that I don't see how anyone could not love it.
Yeah, it's a good one. I would give it 10 out of 10 Christmas trees.
I would too. I would do that all day, every day. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a uplifting movie, 365 days out of the year, not just Christmas.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about our favorite and funniest moments from the movie?
I think so.
All right.
I think we may end up with those having similar ones because they were so hilarious. Some of them.
I literally wanted to write down every single scene. I'm not even joking.
I know it was every time I watch it, it's like anything else. You watch something more and more and you do miss a little something each time, or perhaps your perspective at the time is different and you read something into it. But it's just every single time I find something really funny in that movie, and it showcased Eric's funny side, comedic side. His humor is a bit dry, and I don't know that everyone kind of gets it, but in Welcome to Christmas, it was showcased so perfectly.
Yeah, I agree. So my first one on the list is one of the very first scenes when they're all at home and Lily is asking when they're getting a Christmas tree, and she says, "Dad, when are we getting a Christmas tree? I'm making ornaments, so I need to know when we're getting a tree." And then, he says when they're getting a tree, and then she starts saying how she wants to change tradition. And, he responds to that. And I love his line. He says, "There's no age limit on Christmas spirit."
that's a great scene and a great line. And it was a great teaching moment because it wasn't just validating Lily, but he was as a dad tuning into what Annie was going through,
Yeah.
and that she was having her own issues with Christmas
Yeah.
and growing up and finding herself
Mhm.
being too old for Christmas
Mhm.
and traditions. And he basically, I loved how it came full circle, and it was very sweet for both the girls that way.
Mhm. Yeah. And then I believe this is in the same scene, and it's a few minutes after that. Lily is throwing the art supplies at Annie after mentioning they can see reindeer on the street signs. And I think she, strikes a pose, and Gage says, "School ready now."
Yeah, typical dad. It's like, we're gonna cut to the chase. That's it. We're done. No more shenanigans. You're getting up, you're getting ready for school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Of course, I have to mention meeting Madison. That was hilarious.
That was hilarious. And he was so stern. Like the
Yes.
stern look on his face, you're just like, I think what it was for me in that one too, is that when he's standing there and he's looking all sheriffy,
Right.
yeah, he's like all sheriffy. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna be Breaking Bad, and I'm gonna do sheriff on you. And it was kind of funny because she's just giddy talking away to her friend, and
Yeah,
then the
she's
next
like,
thing you
I
know,
gotta go.
yeah, like this
I'll call
dude
you
is
back.
serious. It was so funny. And then I you can't help it, but the minute that she tells her friend that she's hanging up and she looks at him, you can see immediately how they turn that into sparks.
Uh-huh.
And it
Yeah.
was really cute. That was like their first moment, I thought.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. I love how she said something like, I'll have to call you back.
Yes, and she did it in such a manner. It was definitely a moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
their first moment, I think.
The
And
fact she
and then he realized who it was. And didn't you think, Nicole, how well played that scene was, where
Yeah.
Gage was actually made aware after she told him she's Madison Lane. So he knew exactly who he was expecting to come to town because he already knew about it.
Yeah, they were
And
talking
she
about
had
it.
no clue who he was. And I just thought that
Yeah.
was well played, how he kept everything under wraps.
I think so too. I think they were talking about it before he had to go.
Mm-hmm.
Pick
Yep.
her up.
And she's all doe-eyed, and she's like, okay, the sheriff, this is great. He's helping me. I'm going to get my car fixed soon. And then all of a sudden she's like, what?
Yeah. Oh, also in that scene, I love how she blames the accident on the sign being too distracted.
That was great.
When Madison gets to the meeting after the fender bender, I love how Chelsea says, it's a festival. And then Rachel says, with lights. Chelsea says, so many lights.
That was cute.
Yeah. I think they're trying to figure out what to do with the festival.
They are trying to figure out, because I don't think they'd had one in a while. And they just wanted to do that to cause Madison, obviously, to choose Christmas. But I thought, and I wanted to bring this up, what I kind of really liked about that whole play of how everything worked when they brought her back was, I don't know why, but it just kept hitting me that Gage was actually very brazenly manipulative. I thought, I wonder if maybe in some of the past movies that Eric did that Kristen rubbed off on him as Shane, and he all of a sudden the role flipped, and now he's brazenly manipulative, because he sure as heck was in that movie.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was glamoring Madison like crazy.
Oh, she had asked about the festival, and then that's when they said that.
That was exactly when they said that. And it was so funny because everybody's looking at everybody like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. Oh, this was priceless. When Madison is being given a tour of Christmas and Gage and Nell are trying to distract her from seeing Chelsea and Ethan.
Oh, I know. It was so like the way they turned and everything that they were doing.
It's like backtracking.
and they were so awkward at it, that was intentional awkwardness because obviously that was the scene, but it was so great because you don't see movies that do that anymore,
No.
where they have those really seriously awkward moments and it's played off so well that you look at it and you say, I could be in that scene because it's so human. It's just, yeah, it was great.
Yeah. I loved seeing Madison meeting Annie and Lily.
I
That was
did too.
really sweet. Nell
Yeah.
says, "We welcome guests with open arms." Lily says, "Do you like reindeer?" Madison, yes. Lily, "Then I welcome you with open arms."
I know she was so precious, that child. And it's so funny how they segue into that with the line of,
Madison, "I am great
not,
with kids. I was
yeah,
a kid once upon a time." Are
that's,
you thinking what I'm thinking?
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I just love him though, when he looks at her and she goes, well, what would make you think that I don't like children?
Yeah,
Well, I'd say when you hug Lily like a cactus,
yeah.
it was precious.
That reminded me of the line from Norman in Home Again to Bill about kids when he says, "I was a kid once.
I was
I
a kid
liked
once.
it."
I liked it. It was so funny. There is nobody that can pull off a comedic line like Jeff. Jeff is the master. But they needed to have him as, you know what? I think Jeff would have been perfect as, he would have been great as Tom the mechanic.
Yes.
He would have been great as Tom the mechanic because
Yes.
could you see him walking in and looking at them? He's trying
Yeah.
to Gage is like, the
Yeah.
car's not ready, and he'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I loved when everyone starts decorating the park and
Yeah.
Gage says to Nell, "Should I ask where you got those or would I have to arrest you?"
And she just kind of gives him the look, like, don't go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. And he says a few seconds after that, "How do you propose in keeping her here that long?" Nell, 2 words, glue gun.
That was priceless. It was good. That was well done. It really
Yeah.
was. I really like the scene too, where they've gotten to the point where they're starting to fall for each other and things are not quite so awkward. And
Yeah.
he needed to tuck the kids in. And of course, that was a super special moment with
Yeah.
Lily because
Yeah.
she just wanted her dad to smile more.
Yeah.
And that was a treasure. And then him walking out and he's kind of munching on his gingerbread cookie, and then they shared the cookie,
Yeah.
and that was very tastefully done.
Yeah. Since we're already there, why don't we just talk about those scenes? I have a little bit of the dialogue because it's really sweet.
Perfect.
When Gage is tucking Lily in for bed, I love how
Yeah.
he calls her Lily Pad.
I have to admit, I teared up.
I
I,
did
I
too.
I have to admit that scene gets me every time. And I guess it's the mom in me, and you don't even have to be, you just have to have a compassionate heart.
Yeah.
And it was just such a sweet moment of a dad and his daughter, having
Yeah.
that conversation about feelings and about
Yeah.
just about life.
Hmm.
It was sweet.
She says, "Dad, when Santa let you borrow his suit for tonight, did you tell him what you want for Christmas?" Gage, "Well, I have everything I need." "Everything?" "Pretty much. Why? Is there something you think I need?" "No, not exactly. I just like to see you smile." "You should do that more often." "I smile all the time." "No, you don't. Not as much as you used to." "I guess we could owe you some more smiles." "Yeah, I think this is going to be the best Christmas yet." "I do too." "What do you think Madison wants for Christmas?" "I don't know, but I bet she would love one of your drawings." "Okay. Yeah, I should think about what I want to draw." Maybe it'll come to you in your dreams." In other words, go to sleep, Lily.
It was just so cute.
And then the "I love yous," of course, from father and daughter.
Yeah, very, very sweet. I love the fact that it was a genuine scene. It wasn't a forced scene. The lines were age appropriate for Lily to be having that conversation, and yet it was adult. It was, not Gage wasn't talking to Lily like she was this small child. He was talking to her very sweetly, like a father would talk to his daughter.
Yeah, I think so too. Going back to the other scene you mentioned, I love how Madison is just standing outside and Gage walks out with the cookie in his hand and she steals half of the cookie.
I did. She just breaks it right off. And that's how comfortable. But everything led up to that with them during the ornament hunt, or the two of them walking down the sidewalk. And she is wanting to find out, is he taken? Is he dating Rachel? And Madison wanted to know, is there a spark there? Because she could see on Rachel's part there was. And I loved when he looked at her and she said, are you dating? And he's like, no. And she said, you don't have time? No, not really.
Yeah.
Like it was evasive, but they were trying to talk about that they were interested. And I just felt like that was the subtleties in this script. They were what made you want to see what the next scene was going to bring. And that's what a lot of these other movies are lacking. They do not lack those moments in conversation that make you want to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah. I do have to say there are some great Hallmark movies out there,
There
but
are. Mhm.
there's also some that are kind of a
They're disappointing.
disappointment.
They're disappointing, and I understand that not everything is going to appeal to everyone. Not everything is going to be a success. It is just a fact of who it is that's viewing it and what their likes and dislikes are. But I do have to say, when you have the consistency of an Eric Mabius, you have the consistency of a Jennifer Finnegan, you can take them, just like the Signed, Sealed, Delivered characters, Kristen Booth and Crystal Lowe and Jeff Gustafson. When you take actors that are of this caliber, you can't replace them with someone that's just mediocre.
Yeah.
Just doesn't work.
I agree. I loved when Gage is asking Madison what she was like when she was 13. And then
Yeah.
Madison is trying to bond with Annie over A Christmas Carol. That was really sweet.
It was special because it also meant to me, Nicole, that Madison was in tune to what was happening in Gage's life at the moment. She
Yeah.
wasn't just somebody that came to town that was interested in finding romance. She was somebody that was actually invested in what was going on with the children and day to day. And she, from right out the gate, embraced that family.
She did. I thought it was funny how she was trying to give Annie spoilers about the book.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. I like that. And Jennifer Finnegan can drop a line like none other. She is really good.
I think that's the first movie I've ever seen her in. I haven't seen any of her other work, but she's a great actress.
She really is. She's funny.
Yeah.
Well, she was actually, that movie, most of it I think was filmed in Vancouver City, but there was a great deal of it that was filmed in Revelstoke, British Columbia. And it's just it's a phenomenally beautiful little town. And so it was just neat. And I read an article a while ago, and it was actually probably around the time the movie came out, and they were interviewing the actors and so forth. Yeah. And I do remember Jennifer's interview, and she had brought her family to the shoot. And in Revelstoke, I believe, is where they celebrated her daughter's first birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And those are just, to me, those when you see the actors as real people, it's just I think that's a value added bonus to some of the Hallmark, especially because they do have those stories of family and friendships and things of that nature. So it does make it more of a hometown, just a homey feel to it. So, but that was a neat story.
Yeah, I agree. That was really sweet. I love a lot of the scenery in the Hallmark movies. Beautiful.
It is. It's just it's unreal.
Yeah. Another scene I really loved was the Christmas Festival of Lights and Gage and Annie's first conversation when arriving.
Mhm.
And he's trying to convince her why Christmas is the best choice for the resort. Madison, Lily, and Annie turning on the lights. That was cute. Madison says 1, 2, 2.5, and Annie says 2 3/4.
It
And
was so
Lily,
cute.
2 7/8. Madison's like 3, and then
And then boom. And there
I
was
think the
Tom
first
over at
time the lights don't come on, and
I know
then
Tom's flipping out trying to get it all situated so we can get the lights
yeah,
connected. It was so
yeah,
cute. And then Nell's over, you can see she's internally freaking out because her plans are running awry because the lighting didn't go off as she thought, because she's so
yeah.
particular. Yeah.
Yeah. I love Gage and Madison's second conversation. So this was after the lights had been turned on.
Mhm.
And she's complimenting the town and she says, very charming. And he says, but charming doesn't fill a ski resort. I get it. Look, you are a smart, successful business person. Madison says, flattery won't work either.
I know. It was so cute. But they were very real with each other, and I think what it was is there was so much in each scene, there was such a display of honesty between the characters, and that's why it gets to that point where Gage feels betrayed. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the funniest moments was when Madison, Gage, Nell, and Tom are talking about her car.
Oh
And
yeah.
he says, it'll take about a week to get those parts in. A week? That is shocking. Madison, that is shocking. As she's walking by him, she says, almost hard to believe.
She knew the whole time she was being taken. And what was the best part of it is she was falling in love with that little town as well as someone that was brazenly manipulative.
Her facial expression in that scene was priceless.
It is, because she gets a look on her face and you just can read it. Like you're like, I know what
Yeah.
she's thinking. I know it.
Yeah. One of my top favorite moments in this movie is when Gage and Madison are making ornaments and they're talking about Annie and Lily, the ornament hunt, and how
Yeah.
one year they didn't find them all until the snow melted. He also talks in this scene about his job and the possible move to Denver and her potentially running Hartwell Enterprises when Joe retires. Gage was considering leaving because he thought they needed a change, a fresh start. Now he believes that change doesn't mean you have to give up everything that means something to you, which is
That
good.
is a great lesson.
Yeah. Another one of my top favorite scenes is the Christmas tree hunting scene. That is clever. I've never heard of anyone doing that before this movie.
I know it was very clever, and I loved the way that they just got so engaged in it, and they were also excited, and the adults were giddy, and that also gave a perfect moment of that little bit of jealousy that was going on with Rachel, because she was getting the feeling that Gage was not attainable, and I think before Madison came, she felt like he was. And she saw the spark between them. And at that ornament hunt, it became apparent that Madison had inserted herself into the family and she was welcomed.
Yeah,
So that kind of peeled that layer off for the audience.
I agree. And the good scenes just keep on coming.
They never stopped in this movie.
Yeah. I love one of the next ones when she's decorating the Christmas tree with Gage, Annie, Lily, and Nell.
Mm-hmm.
Madison and Annie are talking about Christmas as a kid and her parents. Lily is asking Madison what she's going to do this year and says that she's part of the family. And then the nice little callback with turning on the lights.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just so sweet. It was, there were just so many touching moments like that.
Gage and Madison in the garage, and they're talking about the ornaments for the ornament hunt, the background scenery for the holiday fair, and the shed itself. I like how she says, I don't know how you get anything done in here with all this stuff. Gage says, "Oh, come on, this isn't stuff. This is evidence of a life well lived." Madison, it's a nice way of saying stuff.
Hmm. I know, one man's trash and another man's treasure.
And then she sees the sleigh and she says, "You were talking about opportunities. That sounds like one to me. Maybe you should focus on that instead of whatever that is," as she's pointing to the sleigh.
It's so
And she
funny.
says, "That is a reindeer." And then she says, "Let's go with that."
Yeah, let's just go with that.
Yeah. Of course, I got to mention Gage offering to walk Madison back to the bed and breakfast. That was sweet. Chivalry is not dead.
Chivalry is not dead, and I love the fact that they did have a little courting moment there when they flirted about how she is basically trying to not have anything to do with Christmas, and letting them know
Yeah.
in no uncertain terms. And then there she is coveting a $20 ornament. This trophy, $20 trophy.
Yeah.
And it was just cute though, because that was when she looked right at him and let him know that Christmas was growing on her.
Mhm.
And it was cute.
That was sweet. I
Yeah,
love when they were announced the winner for the ornament hunt. That was nice.
it was nice because they were just they were all sharing in the joy, and it was almost like if anyone were looking at that, like Rachel was looking at it from afar, you would look at that like it was already a family.
Yeah. Back to Madison and Annie. They are eating Christmas cookies and talking about A Christmas Carol. I loved that too.
That was sweet.
Yeah.
That was very sweet.
That
And
was
I love the scene too, which I don't want to forget about it. The scene where Gage is sitting on the couch with Annie and
I love that too.
that was a very moving scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That made me tear up a little bit.
Yeah, I did too. And Annie's coming to terms with becoming a teenager and losing her mom, and Gage is just doing his very best to keep his head above water and make sure that he's the best dad he can be. And it was just kind of cool how he had that moment where he reached her about something and they had a good father-daughter moment.
Yeah. He's such a good dad.
He is. I mean, and you got to think about it. Then here's another thing, I thought about Sign Seal Delivered, because here he is out there with his apron on and baking cookies. I mean, then he goes from vows to putting his apron on and shucking corns. I'm like, the dude cannot get away from an apron.
I love that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, in
Like,
the next movie, can we please see them become parents?
can we what?
Can we please see Shane and Oliver become parents?
Yes, please. But I want them to be parents.
Yeah.
There's so much
Wrapped
to
up.
do and so much growth there, so much storyline left to tell. And Martha had even talked about what she wanted to do in the future with Norman and Rita, and I just love to see those things happen.
Yeah. Yeah. We need at least a few more movies before it completely wraps.
I agree, we're just not ready.
I know when
We're not ready to give it up.
when the last movie comes, I'm not gonna be
You know what? The thing of it
not
is
gonna be
too
ready.
is you seriously look at how the cast is there. They really are, from the evolution from the beginning to where they're at now in their lives. They You've got these dynamic, beautiful actors that have so many more years to be able to be on that screen and be correct in the timeline. It's like, come on, people, make it happen.
Fingers crossed we'll get one in 2023.
We will. I just feel it. I'm
Yeah.
I'm praying for it.
Yeah. Another funny moment is when Madison and Chelsea are at the cafe and they're talking about the town slogan and the damaged sign. Gage says, "It's still a mystery, isn't it, Madison?" Madison, "Someone should call the town share."
And it's funny, all the different times that he segues into comments to her throughout that all
Yeah.
circle around that sign when she's talking about the because they're trying to compare the two places for the ski resort, and she said that the other town didn't have a big Christmas sign, and he goes, well, ours doesn't either. Ours doesn't anymore. So it was like every time they turned around, the two of them were sparring a bit about
Yeah.
something. It was cute.
Yeah. I thought it was sweet when Madison talked to Annie about joining the choir.
Mhm.
And then, she ends up getting up to sing with them, I believe, at the end.
Yeah, and Madison was very in tune to the girls and
Yeah.
what their needs were at the time. And she really put Lily was more independent and kind of had found herself. Whereas I think, and probably because she was younger, but Annie was going through so many challenges. And I just felt like Madison understood her.
Yeah. Gage standing up for Madison at the holiday fair. That was really nice.
That
I don't
was,
remember what he said written down, but I really liked it.
yeah.
Madison's goodbyes to Nell, Lily, Annie, and Gage. That kind of made me cry a little bit.
Oh my gosh, yes. It was very tearful, and I actually found myself at the one point when everything kind of transpired and he was upset. Of course, when our lovely Rachel had to spill the beans about
Oh, yeah.
the transfer, and everything came to a head, and it was just so heartbreaking to see what it was more than anything, they hadn't known each other long enough to have this crazy established relationship, but both of them were putting themselves out there, and it
Mhm.
was just you could see how disappointed that Gage was, and but he was still kind to Madison. He just was always the gentleman. And when
Mm.
she was pulling her little suitcase and she was leaving and walked out the door and then looked through the pane of glass back at him, I was like, okay, that's it. I need a tissue.
Yeah, that
That
was,
was that was touching because he
yeah,
wanted to go after her. You could
yeah,
see he wanted to go after her, but his pride would not allow that.
yeah. Another top favorite scene in this movie is Gage and Nell's conversation in the garage. And they're first talking about the sleigh, and then they start talking about death and having room in their hearts for new people to love.
That was beautiful.
Mhm.
Well written, well played.
Yeah. Madison and Dana's conversation at the office, and she opens the gift from Annie.
Ooh,
They're talking about work, and then she thinks of another way to save the town of Christmas.
I know, right? It was like she was inspired.
Yeah. And the only other two scenes I have on my list are the holiday fair and the conversation with Gage and Madison at the holiday fair,
Mhm.
which is, I think, the very last thing we see in the movie.
Yeah, it is. And you have touched on all of my favorite scenes. The last one, obviously, is the very end, and I just feel like it was such. They left that movie in such a place for a sequel.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd like to see a
some
sequel.
yeah, some movies no. You look at them and you
Yeah.
say, I really could, if I were gonna sit down and I was gonna have the perfect person come in and write this, I'm still not sure that they could make a sequel work. But just that closure of them standing there and Gage letting her know that he did not want her to leave again
Yeah.
because it just, I don't know. It was just one of those things where you just said, I could see them intro in and they would be like 1 year later and they would have been dating and they would have ended up getting married and it would have been
Yeah.
a really sweet sequel.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a sequel at some point.
Well, if my fingers can possibly continue to put in there every week that where's this sequel, I'm going to do it
We need
because
one.
I believe that we just need more. We need more quality acting. We need
Yeah.
more quality writing.
Yeah. Madison's speech at the holiday fair was really nice. I have it written down and I really wanted to read it because it's good
It is
advice.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Christmas is that feeling you get when you decorate the tree with the people you love. It's baking cookies, it's handmade ornaments. Christmas is about home and family, and that's it.
Gets me every time.
And then we see the reveal of the new town sign and hear the new slogan and singing in the choir.
It
Or
was
the,
just sweet. Yeah. and the town came together, and I loved also during that entire time that that was happening and Madison had come back and Gage had no idea. He was shocked when she showed up, and he wanted the town to know that he wasn't going anywhere and that he was going to stay and that was his town. And that was a beautiful revelation to everyone. And then when she walked in, he was still hurting from the fact that he felt betrayed and that she had left. But when she went up on stage to let everyone know about what was happening before she even got finished with anything, he was defending her.
Yeah.
To the town. And that was a show of that character's character. And it was beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. And going back to the conversation they had at the fair, I love when he says, every time you leave, it's like, I'm afraid that you're going to crash into that sign again.
I loved it. That was cute. He always had something that he had to bring up that sign.
Yeah.
And something, where was the line, Nicole, in the movie when they have the moment and Gage, Madison says something about driving in Denver, and I think she said something to the effect of, "Oh, would you worry about me driving in? That way you wouldn't have to worry about me driving in Denver," or something like that. He turns around, looks at her, he goes, "Actually, I'd worry about your driving anywhere."
I remember that. Yeah.
That was so funny. That was like,
That was
that line
hilarious.
was so well delivered. And
Yeah.
I chuckle every time that line pops up.
Yeah.
That was great.
Do we want to get into the trivia?
Let's get into it and see what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you though, you're going to do better than I do. Trivia is not my bag.
Let's see how I can stump Penny. Kidding.
I can't wait. She's going to get me. What surprise when you win, Nicole.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I'm not.
Or am I? I'm just
I don't think you're kidding. You know what? You're all sweetie, but I know you, child. You have a competitive side a mile long. I know you, Nicole Smith. Remember, I met you.
I might have a little bit of
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's good. That's you know what? If someone can't spar with you, then it's no fun. Okay, where's your trivia?
Okay. What is the name of the local cafe? Big Bend Cafe, the Bison Blends Cafe, Rocky Mountain Cafe, or Evergreen Cafe?
I'm going to go with Big Bend.
Yes.
The other ones were quite catchy, though.
I had a hard time coming up with options for that.
I actually did too. I was at work today and it was so funny because I was trying to come up with some of these things, throughout the day while I'm reading all these crazy clinical charts. And all of a sudden I turn around and I'm like, where did I come up with these?
Oh my goodness. How long is the drive from Christmas to Denver? 6 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, or 3 hours?
Oh, I wish I would have paid attention. From Denver to where?
Christmas.
Oh, to Christmas. That's right. From Denver to Christmas. I would have to say that it's 4 hours.
Ding, 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 ding. Good job. The name of the town was called Bryce Valley until what year? 1951, 1933, 1940, or 1937?
1933.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, I don't have choices for this one because I didn't have time to come up with choices, but I have
You know
more.
what? I love that. I love your candor.
Thank you.
I just didn't do it.
I just ran out of time to come up with choices.
I forgive you because I am imperfect.
Oh my goodness. What kind of muffins did Nell make for breakfast? If you need choices, I can come up with some on the spot.
I just can't remember. That was the one thing, like I did not pay attention to the muffins because I lean towards blueberry muffins always. So I
Ding,
just,
ding, 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 ding.
yeah, blueberry muffins are always my go-to.
Yeah, they're good.
Yay.
Okay. During the Christmas tree game, which reindeer did Madison name? Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, or Comet?
Madison's reindeer tree.
Yeah. Which one did she name? Which reindeer?
What were the choices?
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen.
Dancer.
Nope.
Okay, who was it?
Comet.
Comet. I would have gone through all of them before I
I
got
think
that.
I said it in order.
I know.
Dasher,
Wasn't it
Dancer.
didn't Gage get Dasher?
Let's see. Let me go back in my notes and see. Yes.
It was Dasher.
Yeah. Gage had Dasher.
Okay, good. Then I feel like I feel good about that.
Okay. I'll read my would you rather questions and then you can read your trivia questions.
Okay.
Would you rather sing in the choir or have a booth at the town's holiday fair?
I'd rather have the booth.
Yeah, I'm an artsy person, so.
Yeah, I'm crafty. I'd rather do the booth.
Yeah. Would you rather make homemade Christmas stockings or homemade Christmas ornaments?
That's hard for me because I love to craft. I would have to go actually, because I like to make sure everybody gets a stocking. So I would have to go with the stockings.
That's a good choice. I've never made Christmas stockings, so
I have, and I love it. It's fun. I used to make them with the girls when they were littles.
oh,
Yeah.
I'll have to try that sometime.
I can't wait to make. I'm going up to see my grandkids for Thanksgiving and my daughter. So I'm going to be there about a week. And so I'm going to make Christmas stockings with them while I'm there.
Oh, that sounds fun. I know you'll have a good time.
I will. I can't wait.
Would you rather do your Christmas shopping online or in a store?
In a store. I like tangible. I like people. I like the scents and the sounds and I don't like it when it's like a human car wash, like that busy, but I like it when it's just, you can touch things and pick up a scarf and feel the silk. And that's what I like.
Yeah, I like both, but I'd have to say in a store. All right. Are you ready for your trivia questions?
I am. Okay, let's see here. This should be interesting. I know it's so hard because now after hearing yours, I could maybe throw my other one in there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, where was it that Gage was thinking of transferring to? Was it Vail? Was it Pueblo? Or was it Denver?
Denver.
Gotcha. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, you're correct.
I caught that other reference, Pueblo.
And I was like,
Colorado.
out of all the cities in Colorado, like they have a Pueblo. So I thought that was fun.
And it's funny because Pueblo was mentioned in The Road Less Traveled, which you recapped with me.
Exactly. That's why, of course, I had to do that. You know what? We have to go back over and over and over again. It's like so fun. It's like Groundhog Day. Okay. What special training did Gage have? Did he have safety training? Did he have firefighter training? Did he have culinary training? Or was he a trained EMT?
Oh gosh. I'm just gonna guess that trained EMT.
That is ding, 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 ding. Yay. That was kind of like a super small moment. So I was like, maybe you might remember that and you might not. Okay. What was the name of the ski resort that Madison was their competitor at Christmas? Was it Boulder Park? Was it Colorado Springs Park? Mountain Park? Which one? Mountain Park. That's right. Yay. Ding, 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 ding. You are absolutely correct. I thought I had one more.
If you don't, it's okay.
Yeah, I think that I just prepared for 3 today.
That's okay. Sometimes the numbers vary.
I know. It just depends. It's like, I know. I was like, 3 was my best shot today, Nicole. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
My brain just wasn't working today.
It's all right. Sometimes I'm an overachiever and I'll see something in the movie and I'll be like, oh, that's a good trivia question. Oh, that's a good trivia question.
You know what, my dear? And that's why I'm a guest on the podcast. And that's why you run the podcast. I stay in my lane.
Oh my goodness. But this is so much fun. It's always a great time chatting with you.
Well, it is a good time chatting with you always, Nicole. You always make all of your guests feel welcome. I always feel comfortable coming on, and it's you always run a nice judge-free zone. It's just about having fun.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll definitely have to have you back.
I appreciate that, and I hope that when we have the premiere of our next Signed, Sealed, Delivered movie, or of our Welcome to Christmas sequel that we just know that the powers to be are going to greenlight soon, that you will have me back for that.
Yes, or we could even chat about Zach's recent movie that came out about a month ago, something like that.
I think that would be wonderful. I'd love that.
I love that movie too.
Oh, well, Nicole, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'm sure that we will be chatting on Twitter.
Yes. All right, Postables and Hallmarkies, that wraps up our recap of Welcome to Christmas with our friend Penny. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed and have a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next time. We love y'all. Bye.
Bye.